reading. So for today's theme, we will be talking what other people admire about you. Okay, so I will be shuffling your card first. Oops. Just to put on a disclaimer that I will be reading not only based on the textbook definition of the tarot card, but also through my intuition. Okay, so what people admire about pile number 1. Okay, I just feel there's this sense of intensity that you emit that makes people admire about you. You have the vibe that intimidates people, that makes people respect you, and the sense that people cannot not look at you. There's this sense of look at me vibe that you are emitting, and people admire about you because there's this specific charisma of yours that they just cannot look away. It draws them in, and this creates a lot of different responses from the people, because some people who are secure enough are thinking that you are charismatic, but other people who are not secure enough feel like threatened by your energy. They feel threatened by your presence, and a lot of them are getting jealous of you because they think that you are hogging the attention. You are eating up the room, as in your energy fills out the room. And some people don't like that. They don't like that you're hogging up the spotlight here, even though you're just practically existing. You're just breathing here and minding your own business, but then some people just get jealous of you. There's this natural charm of yours that attract attention, be it good attention or bad attention. I hope you don't really mind and use that to your own advantage. Okay, so what people admire about pile number 2. I'm sorry, pile number 1. Perhaps pile number 2 would be relevant to you. Perhaps there will be some messages for you in pile number 2. Okay. Okay, so you have this 5 of Cups, and 3 of Cups. By the way, this is just marbles, you know. I love to put sparkly little things here. I know my camera and the lighting does not do the justice, but I hope you find joy as much as I do, because I really love this kind of things. Oops. Oh, it's moving around. Let's find a perfect place for the marbles to stay there. Okay, Five of Cups and Three of Cups. It felt like you are the type of person who has gone through a lot, and people notice that. And it's not necessarily a bad thing here. I just see that people saw you as someone who have through a lot of things and yet still able to maintain a wonderful perspective of life, as in you still have fun, you stay happy, you don't let those kind of things and the bad experiences, the wounds that you experiences from the past hinders you from making good memories in the future. So, and it seems like you are someone who has a lot of experiences in heartbreak. I don't know some what it makes people. I'm going to say this. I know it might not be what you want to hear about what others admire about you, but there is this somberness that people love about you. But weirdly enough, not weird actually, it's not weird, it's more of interesting enough. It goes hand in hand, more of like a contradictory to you. There is this somberness and yet energetic and enjoying life in you. So you have this duality in you that makes people relates to you because it's human. I know that what I'm saying is a little bit difficult to understand, but just bear with me right now because I will be explaining further. And I want to elaborate further about the duality and the relatability that makes you human, because in here, in this world at least these days, a lot of people are putting up a mask, they're putting up a facade, if that's how you pronounce it, facade, facade, and portray their life as in they're in the movie, portraying their life as in they are perfect and their life are happy and only good things happening to them. But here I see that you are the kind of person who does not do those kind of things, which is admirable to other people because you stay confident in yourself, that you are able to love your flaws, to stay true and vulnerable. And you know what? These days, being vulnerable is extremely hard, where you put on a lot of persona out there. When you put on a specific photos in your Instagram, I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but it is easier to recreate the life that you wanted, to put on a mask that you wanted. It is way more easier. Alright, and yeah, there is this feeling of sincerity from you, and acceptance of your flaws. I hear that some people admire you, that you don't antagonize your negative flaws or your skills or personality part of you that not exactly what you want to put on a spotlight, but yet you do not reject them, as as in antagonizing them and villainizing them. Yeah, villainizing. You accept yourself wholly and trying to work on it, because I see that you're transitioning yourself, you're moving forward, you're trying to change yourself by firstly being completely aware of the things that you do and then trying to actively change the situation that you are in. Because if you're seeing here that the first person are looking at the fallen cups, but then in here they are focusing on the cups that each of the person have. So there's this big community involvement. Yes, involvement in community. So you are the kind of person who is very happy, good at celebrating, and there is this sense of happiness and joyfulness that is emitting from you guys. Perhaps you are the kind of person who lifts up the mood in the room, who make jokes, who bring humor and let the tension lowers and break the ice and so on. You are good at playing games and ice breaking the situation. What else? For pile number 2, what people admire about pile number 1. Why do I keep saying pile number 2? Yeah, I think if pile number 2 are calling you out, perhaps you can also listen to pile number 2. But yeah, for pile number 1, what else? What people admire about pile number 1. I know that I keep looking at the 5 of Cups. There's this sense of strength in being alone yet together. So you're independent but not isolated. The strength of balancing those two and knowing when to rely on yourself and knowing when to rely on others, when to retreat and contemplate, and when to have fun and interact with people, mingle with other people. Yes, I can see that you are someone who is very influential, good at making new friends, making new connection, enjoying events. Probably the kind of person who is admired because they are the center of the attention, the eye of the storm. So people flock around you. You're the center of the group, the head of the group. What people admire about you, that you bring the party to you, not you come to the party. You make it festive, not because there's a party, but because you're there, you're making things enjoyable. To some of you who are rejecting this, who are thinking, oh, I'm not that, I don't make the mood, especially during the party. But this is what other people admire about you. You're good in manipulating the emotions of the room. You're good at leading the conversation towards the environment where you wanted it to be. What else? For pile number 1. Again, I was going to say pile number 2, but stop myself. Do check out pile number 2 if that interests you. I see here that people admire you, that you have a lot of knowledge, vast knowledge, as in you've traveled a lot, so you are well educated. It does not have to be having an actual education. You can be having an actual education, but even if you don't have an actual education, as in an official one, you are well traveled. You know how to talk with people, what is the correct way to ask things, as in street smart. Yes, very good at adapting. I was trying to say mingling with the townspeople, but it's more of adapting, as in you have been there before. Oh, there's this words that just describe you perfectly. When you're in Rome, you act like Romans, if I'm not mistaken. That was the sentence. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, you are good at adapting. So when you go to some places and the culture or the habit that that place usually do, you are able to integrate yourself easily. You're good at adapting, and then you take enjoyment in a lot of things. So you easily get excited, easily get energized, and people admire about you because not a lot of people adapt and actually enjoy to the things that are new to them. Some of them, which I'm not shaming anybody, but it's a skill, being adaptable and actually enjoying it. The newness, the freshness of a new activity, of a new environment and new friends, is a skill because you are very much able to make, okay, I don't know what is the English word, but let's just continue. But what I'm going to say is that you're extremely adaptable, and it makes people admire that personality, that qualities of you. Yes. Anything else for pile number 1, please? What do others admire about you? Oh, I just felt a sense of calmness here. So people admire you that you are really calm and collected, even though the external environment was chaotic. You keep calm, stoic, and yet it does not mean that you are cold here. You just know how to keep your composure. Forgive me for my pronunciation, but you keep calm, staying calm, and you don't let a lot of people or things or situation gets into you. You've learned this. This is something that you've mastered. You've experienced this, and then you know how to handle this. And people admire that you keep this constant emotions, keep your emotions stable. Rather than constant emotion, you keep your emotions stable. What else, bro? Home number 1. What do people admire about them? I just heard something about head. Perhaps people admire about your hair, the way you styled your hair, the way your natural hair is, but there is something regarding your head that attracts people's attention. Your hair could be really beautiful, and the way it flows down, for example, is really mesmerizing. It makes people fall in love. Oh yeah, I just realized that you have a lot of admirers. I'm sorry. You have a lot of admirers. People have crushes on you. A lot of people have crushes on you. See, people are getting heartbroken with you because they think that, oh my god, you're so popular. You're so well loved. There's so many people are pursuing you. So the one who is not brave enough to pursue you are being heartbroken, even without you rejecting it, because I see there's this huge popularity that is surrounding you. Like wherever you are, it felt like there are always people who is around you. Or even if when you're alone, some kind of people would just adopt you, or people just be in your vicinity. They love your presence. They love that you just naturally attract other people. What else for poll number 2? Poll number 1. Did I just make a mistake for a lot of time? And now I'm convinced that you really do need to watch poll number 2. But for poll number 1, what do other people admire about you? Okay, the cards are not coming out. Let me shuffle it in a different way. Because I feel like this card is trying to come out, but it's not coming out. But when I try to change that, it won't let me. Okay, let's try to shuffle it in a different way first and see. Okay. What do people admire about you? Number 1. Resiliency. There's this stubbornness in you that makes people want to keep looking at you, like they want to see what is the next step that you're going to take, because you're not someone who easily gives up here, especially if you are already invested there. You're emotionally invested, so you're not going to give up. For example, you know what, I'm going to achieve this, I am going to win a competition, and then you actually persist in reaching that. You persist and winning the competition. For example, you want to win a coding competition. That's just an example. I don't know why coding comes to my mind. Perhaps you are good at this. You're good at the skills, and people admire that about you because there's this sense. Okay, I keep getting distracted by the back of the card here. Let's just take it out and see. Oh, King of Pentacles. Wow. So you just naturally attract abundance, and that is what people admire about you. There's this luckiness, luck that surrounds you. It feels like whenever you are, wherever and whenever you are, luck seems like following you. People are admiring because you are able to move on. See the transition here. Okay, forgive me if you are able to hear my stomach rumbling. It does that kind of thing sometimes, and that's okay. It just means that I'm human. But I hope you don't mind that, and I'm going to continue. So with this transition here, it felt to me like you are very lucky and you don't let difficult things hinders you. Even if difficult things happen, you move on. So you're getting happy here. You are becoming the best version of yourself. You are extremely lucky, and people admire that about you. It's some kind of jealous, to the point of jealousy. I hope that you don't mind hearing this, but some people are jealous by how lucky you are, and you're just not naturally lucky, but the way that you act, the way that you interact with people or things or events and situations just attracts luckiness. And what people admires about you is that you are so full of abundance. You know, I personally believe that if you think you are lucky, that you are so much blessed, that the universe loves you, and they will grant it to you even more. If you think you're so lucky, oh my god, I'm so lucky, and then the universe really do make that happen, because they love people who are grateful and feeling blessed, and your frequency attract more of those in the same frequency of you being feeling lucky, feeling blessed, and so on. So it's just perpetuating your luck, perpetuating your blessings. So it keeps coming and coming and coming. There's so many abundance here, and people are admiring that about you. How can you do this? They are asking questions. But then here you are just chilling and enjoying life, mingling and being in the present moment. I keep looking at the Five of Cups, but I see here that you are learning how to move on to certain things that is much more important to you. You are learning and finding healthy coping mechanisms. So don't worry too much. And even if you worry, don't shame yourself for worrying things. Just be kind to yourself, just as you're being kind to other people. With the King of Pentacles here, I see that you are someone who is having a lot of influence, like I said before, that the party comes to you, not you come to the party. And with this Three of Cups, and then there's this feeling of you are the eye of the storm, you are the deal here, the real deal here. People are flocking towards you, they want to get your influence, pieces of your power, your authority here. Yet, despite being a king here, I can see that you are not someone who does not want to mingle with others, as in, you know what, I'm a royalty, I'm an authority, so you are not in the same position as I am. No, I don't think that you are like that. There's this sense of humbleness. So you mingle, you are friendly, you keep talking to other people. You don't think that you are, oh, I am so good so that I don't need to talk to you. I'm so good that I don't have the necessity to adapt to people. No, here you are very good at talking with people, mingling with people, no matter what their background is, no matter what their position is. There's this sense of fairness towards you, humbleness, yes, very down to earth, with the pentacles here, down to earth, earthy energy. It could be that you have a Taurus sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, and a Pisces, I believe. The gods of it to just fall off. The Five of Wands and the Ten of Wands. Do you want to come out? Okay, I'll just take one. Oops. It's rolling away. Oh, perhaps you love to roll it, as in, is that a sentence, as in, let's rock this. Okay. Okay, so this is your card. Five of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and then Ten of Wands. Let me explain it to you. You don't have to be anxious about it. But in here I see that you are someone who understands the pain of people. What I meant here is that you don't come off as tone deaf when you are mingling with people, when you're talking with people. There is this sense like, oh yeah, I can understand you. Even if, for example, you don't understand what some people are going through, you are very respectful with their experiences. You understand that people go through different challenges in their life, and you're not the kind of person who do this pain Olympics, so you don't compare your pain with other people. You validate their emotions. You understand it. Oh yeah, this must have been difficult for you, and you know how to interact in a way that is not tone deaf, even if, for example, you don't know or you've never experienced it. You know how to be respectful, you know how to be balanced. And to some cases, you do have the experience, so you know how painful things can get. You know that there are some things that are just hurtful, and you cannot judge people for what they have been through from the choices that they make. Sometimes people are just doing their best in their present moment with the option that they think they only have. And there is this sense of caringness within you. Also, I see here that you're someone who do a lot of activities, someone who have a lot of actions going through their life. For example, you have your schedule packed with activities. You put in activities for your hobbies, you do your hobbies, you do your organization or community, you also do courses, taking courses, and put in the time and work and effort for your studies. So you plan out your schedules. There's this very balanced energy. You plan out your schedules, you put a lot of thoughts in what you want to do, and organize. Yes, that is what I'm saying here. Organize people, know what they wanted to do, know what they are going to do, and people admire about you is that you do not diminish other people's pain, no matter how small or no matter how big. Okay, that was loud. My stomach just rumbled, and that was pretty loud. And yeah, you do not diminish what other people are feeling or what they're going through, no matter how difficult or seemingly insignificant. But there is no insignificant things, because people experience things differently, and you know that. You are respectful of that, you are being kind of that, and people going through different levels of experience and experiencing different challenges. You just cannot put it in one standard, and you're not putting that in one standard. Oops, there's this quote that quickly comes to your mind. Release distraction and focus on your goal. So people admire how focused you are in your goal. You are really focused on the things that you wanted to do, the things that you wanted to create. There is this lesser focus. Can you see that in this 10 of Wands? You're not seeing anything other than the actions that you're taking. This lesser focus that you have. And not a lot of people can do that. You see here in this world there are lots of different distraction. Can you see that this person is walking and there are so many distractions all over them, and then they put up a protection around them as they walk through their journey. So there's this laser focus on you so you do not get distracted easily. And then if there's a window to your soul, what do you see? I see here that is you are such a beautiful person. To be honest, I feel like there's this kind of cheekiness to you, not necessarily meaning bad, but there is this sense of cheekiness towards you, and it's kind of cute. The kind of person who if people compliments you, oh my god, you're so beautiful, and then he would say, of course I am. And that's, it's not a bad thing. It means that you're being confident in yourself, but in a cute way. It felt like you are joking around. I said, of course you are, and then you too. And then you start dancing with the stranger. I thought that was super random, but it just come to me. And do you have anything else for pal number 1? What do people admire about? Oh yes, why do I say previously about suddenly dancing with some strangers? You have this qualities of yours that when something happens to you, you improvise and you take things lightly so you don't get serious all the time. So if suddenly people or strangers that you met is wearing the same clothes as you, and then you will just say, wow, we're matching, is this couple shirt, and then high five them, yeah, comrade or something like that. So the kind of person who enjoys little things, easily getting happy and excited, and the kind of person who improvise and just see things that comes to them as happy little surprises. It makes me it reminds me of Bob Ross when he says that we don't make mistakes here, we make happy little accidents. The way you frame the situation is what people admires about you. You don't see things as defensive. You see things this as an opportunity for you to be happy, even with the smallest things. Okay, let me shuffle your cards. What else people admire about pile number 1? I see, rather than seeing, it's more feeling. I get the feeling that you are someone who is very smooth, be it when you are flirting or when you are adapting a new environment. This quality of yours of being able to adapt in any kinds of situations and environment makes people admire that about you. You have this smoothness in handling situations. Yes. Moreover, I see here that you're not someone who differentiate people based on their label, based on their background, or their wealth, their richness, and things like that. You're not someone who differentiate people with those labels or those criteria. You're more of someone who let me interact with you first before I make my judgments, because most of the times good amount of wealth or good position does not mean that you have good personality or you are to guaranteed to be better than the one that does not have good positions and so on. So you are someone who is very grounded, humble, down to earth. Yes, you don't box people with their positions, wealth, their education, or something like that. You think of people as someone who is fair. You treat people fairly. Yes. Anything else for pile number 1? Okay, something just want to pop out, but it stays. Okay, this one wants to come out. 4 of Pentacles. Yes, I can see that there are a lot of earthly energy in you. There's this humbleness, groundedness, down to earth qualities of yours that people admire a lot. Then you have this King of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, and then there's this 4 of Pentacles. Like so many pentacles in your card, in your pile. So people are seeing you as someone who is very full of abundance, someone who have everything, who have the riches that they want, the opportunities that they want, the position that they want, the type of friends, the group of friends that they want. It felt to me like they are admiring how your life are so blessed. You have everything you want in your life, or perhaps some people are envying your lifestyle here. But there's something about your home that people admire, be it that you have a huge family. Okay, that was a lot, literally a lot. Just keep up. Okay, there's something about your family here. I see something in regards of your family that people admire about you. Perhaps it could be you have a lot of family members, and they are, for example, popular or well known because you have a lot of them. And it could be that you are known in your hometown, in your home country, you're popular there. That you have 3 of Swords. You have 3 of Swords. Oh, you're a heartbreaker. You've rejected a lot of pursuer, and people think that you are someone desirable. People want you and admire that. How come that you are pursued a lot? Like, I'm so envious about you. Sorry, but there's this feeling of envy that comes with you. Just a moment, I'm going to pull out the cards. It fell off. Okay, and this is Page of Swords. Page of Swords. I want to apologize if the camera was really dark, because yesterday while I was doing a reading, the lights went off. It literally just died off in the middle of the reading. So it's not as bright as I wanted it to, but I hope you don't mind about that. And yeah, so you have the Page of Swords here. So there is this sense of wanting to learn, wanting to become a student and learn new things. Or you're the kind of person who does a lot of things, try new things, new skills, new hobbies, and new activities, and your curiosity is huge, and people admire that you have this energy to stay curious, because a lot of times people are tired of being in a constant mood of curiosity. Sometimes people want to be an autopilot, because when you explore your curiosity, you have to be self-aware in where you are stepping, because you are embarking in a journey that is unfamiliar to you. But see here, you are very well educated. You love exploring things, learning about things, and you love knowing about things. Perhaps you're the kind of person who knows this facts and then share it with others. You know that, for example, I don't remember any facts right now, but you're the kind of person who share the things that you've learned, the things that you've read, and people seem to see you as someone who is knowledgeable and interested, because you have a lot of curiosity here and you're willing to explore your curiosity. Anything else for pile number 1? What people admires about them? Okay, this card does not want to. Oh, I'm going to take one from this. Your last cards for pile number 1, please. What people admires about them. Okay. Okay, there's a lot, but I'm just going to, you know what, I just accidentally kicked the cards and then it slipped under the cupboard of my cupboard, and I haven't even seen the card yet. So let's just make this. Yeah, I cannot take it out because I need to move my cupboard. But what I can see here is that you make people look for you. You make people wonder, what is this about? What are the next steps that they are trying to take, they are going to take? You make people guessing about you and curious, so they cannot help but keep looking at you observing you and trying to get to know more about you. So you make people wait, you make people wonder. And this is such a beautiful part, and I love reading this. I hope you have as much as enjoyment and fun and happiness as I am. And I'll see you in my next reading. Bye bye. Hi there, welcome. Poem number 2. So this is your reading about what people admire about you. So let me shuffle your card first, and then I will be reading your cards to you. I want to mention first that I don't only read based on the textbook definition of the tarot, but I also use my intuition. Things that I hear, I see, and I feel during my reading. So I hope you keep that in mind, and I will be shuffling your card. So, what do people admire about Paul? Number 2. So there is something about your legs here that is very beautiful. That was weird, but not weird, but that was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting because I wasn't intending to read about physical appearance, but then it says that here your legs is really beautiful. I don't know, perhaps you're an athlete or you run really fast, or you're the kind who has beautiful feet. Okay, that was kind of creepy right off the beginning. But you know, there are some people who is really good at wearing heels, as in they walk really pretty and they rock different kinds of heels. Perhaps you have those kind of legs. I don't want to be creepy or anything, but that just come to me, and I hope you don't mind. If you kind of feel uncomfortable with that, just forget about it. Forget the last 2 minutes and 42 seconds and forget about those. Okay. So what do people admire about poem number 1? Or perhaps you are someone who has Sagittarius energy, someone who has Sagittarius placement, Sagittarius Mercury, Sagittarius Sun, Moon, or Rising. There's a sense of adventure and freedom seeking of yours that it felt like you cannot be tied down here. You are meant to travel, and people love that you travel a lot. You explore new things a lot. You're not the kind of person who stays rooted in one place, because not that staying rooted in one place is a bad thing, but you felt like there is so much wisdom out there. There are so many things to experience out there. So there is this desire for freedom, desire for a wider perspective, desire to see the world, and people love that about you. They admire that you are so brave and courageous, that you are willing to take a step into the unfamiliar, to the things that are uncomfortable, because you want to satisfy your curiosity, your needs of travels, of finding new things that you can never experienced before, that you have never experienced before, or you don't know exist before, and you want to explore with those kind of things. Anything else for pile number 2? What do people admire about you? Okay, the cards are not coming out. Perhaps I should change the... Okay, no, never mind. Okay, so your cards came out after I shuffled a little bit more. So the first one is what people admire about you is that the Seven of Pentacles. So you're someone who is very patient, and you're not someone who is seeking out instant gratification. You know when to wait and work hard on your goals. You know when to play, and this is Four of Pentacles. Someone who is very protective, caring about the things, the values, your important people in your life. And then again, Two of Pentacles. See, there are three pentacles here, and the first three of your cards are pentacles. So people see you as someone who is very, I want to say, wealthy, be it in financial, material, or just in life. You're full of abundance. You have a lot of things in your life, and this does not mean you are flaunting your wealth, because there's this balancing over here, and then there is this Two of Swords. Okay, let me slowly try to explain it, because see, in here I see that not only you are someone who can work hard, work really hard and patient, waiting for your harvest, for you reaching your goal, but you are also someone who is very protective for your dreams, very protective for your value and your important people. You're someone who takes a lot of good care to the things that you put significant into, the things or the people or anything. It could be your plants or your pets. So to the relationship and the things that you put a lot of value or invested a lot, or it's just a priority to you, you take good care of it. And then you are someone who is very balanced. You're not someone who just works and works and works, but you also work and then play. You have the time to do both of the things. See, Two of Swords, you have two options, and it does not have to be only two options, but you are good at balancing this. You have two and two. There's a sense of expansion. You're fitting all those activities in your schedule. Oh, I can see why pile number 1 was referred to this pile number 2, because there's this same card that came out for pile number 1. So perhaps this is the message that is resonating with you, is that you are good in focusing, while at the same time putting importance to other activities too. Like for example, you time block. If you know time blocking in productivity, so you basically put schedules. Okay, um, let me try to explain it. So basically, time blocking is that you put a certain amount of hours that you want to invest it in, rather than small separate times throughout the day. So you just put it right in the very beginning or in the very end or in the middle of your day, but basically you just clump it up all together and right away, rather than just taking 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes after lunch, and then 10 minutes of doing things or doing activities before you sleep, rather than bashing it in the small periods of time. You time block things so that you can finish things quickly, and you just, yeah, so it's easier to organize. Perhaps that is something for you. I'm not saying that it's not possible for you or you don't like using those spare moments, that small little times, that 10 minutes, 5 minutes during your getting ready and so on. But in here I see more of a kind of person who is extremely good in organizing their time. So there's this preferences in time blocking that was very specific to some of you. But yeah, you guys are very good in doing productivity, doing things in an efficient way. And I see here that you have options to you. You can choose a lot of things if you wanted to, but you are focusing on the things that are matter a lot to you, and people can see that conviction and they admire you for that. Not only that you are organized, productive, in a healthy way, obviously, of course. Nothing that is too much, not everything that is too much or anything that is too much can be harmful to some degree. And I can see here you are balancing. You're not trying to take things to the extreme, and you are putting importance on having all this criteria, all these fields to be fulfilled. And what else for point number 2? What people admire about them. I kept looking at the 2 of Swords. Perhaps you are a good swimmer, someone who are good with the water. You're an athlete, perhaps. You're a swimmer, diver, or you know those kind of skills like swimming or survival skills. And people admire you for that, because in this era where advancement was the priority, thinking about survival with basic things, as in, for example, foraging or fishing, hunting, and so on, is not a lot of people do, because these days we have a lot of technology, right? But I believe here there is something in your skills that is very natural, as in it does not require you to use technology, so you can disconnect with the technology here, because with the eyes closing and with the word sword here. In this specific reading, I associated this with technology, and yeah, you're closing your eyes to the technology, not that it meant you're not using any technology, but you are developing skills, or you're having the skills that does not require you to associate or use to utilize any technology, and it helps you to disconnect with the technology. Sometimes we need that so that we can understand ourselves, so that we can explore ourselves. So perhaps you're the kind of person who is good with animals, with homesteading and so on, things that are very natural and earth, kind of this gardening and earth, soil. Okay, I'm trying to find and organize my words. Yeah, I believe there's something about this homesteading, farming, gardening, something that is natural and does not necessarily need to have technology in that. So you can disconnect and keep your peace, the calmness in your heart. That's why you're balancing here. And people admire that you can actually have the time or the willingness to take off from technology, from social media, because social media are built to make people addicted to that. It was meant to build like that, so that people keep scrolling, people keep looking at more contents. It was the main reason that it was so difficult to get off, because it was so addictive. But then people admire you because you don't associate your whole life or your free time with technology. You seek out other things outside social media, outside technology, that can fulfill you just the way social media can feeds you this happiness, this dopamine hit. And yes, it's admirable. People admire that, because not a lot of people can get off from social media, from the technology, because it was so stimulating. And I'm not saying that the things or the hobbies that you're doing is not stimulating, but this social media thing is not a bad thing, obviously. It's just a tool, but it was designed to keep people hooked. I'm not antagonizing or villainizing. I apologize for my pronunciation. Villainizing. I'm not villainizing social media, because I'm using it too. So I don't have any right to do that. And it's not a bad thing. It's like a knife. Knife is not good or bad. It's just a tool. You can use it to cook and chop vegetables, sharpen things, but then you can also do that to do crimes, to threaten people. It's not the tools that is bad, it's how we use it. But here, what I want to emphasize to you is that you're someone who is able to stop the needs for instant gratification, instant dopamine hit. So you are good at controlling that. It feels like there's this control over here, that you have a lot of self-control. See, with this Two of Swords also, and then there's this Four of Wands, and it felt like everyone here was waiting, guarding, yes, waiting, guarding, hanging on. Very resilient people who have a lot of stamina, so they can survive long. you're not the kind of person who easily falls down, as in you lost your stamina, you lost your will. I believe here that you have a lot of strong will. You have so much of stamina to endure this, to control this. And to some extent, people are intimidated by how controlled you are. You're the kind of person who says, if I say this and I will do this, I will not take back on my promise, on the things that I've said to myself. So someone who walks the talk. This is so amazing, to be honest. Because I'm always envious with people who walk the talk. Someone who stayed true to themselves and not taking back on their promises. Because I'm the kind of person who changes my mind often, so I'm learning to create the person that I want. So yeah, again, I want to say that people love that you know what you want and you are willing to put on the effort or any sacrifices needed. For example, you want to achieve your dreams, but then it meant that you need to cut off your social media time, your happy time, and you are willing to do that. Very truthful and sincere in their actions. Okay, anything else for pile number 2? Okay, I just see the Emperor. So it's about control, authority. By the way, I would love to talk about this theme of control that come out in your reading, because what I want to elaborate is not control that is restrictive. It's more of you are moving the water towards where you want it to be. So you're deflecting it rather than forcing it to restrict it, but you're deflecting it so that it can flow easily, so that rather than starving yourself, for example, from things that you wanted. Like for example, you want to play social media. It's not that you're completely restricting yourself to social media or any technologies that can give you this dopamine hit, but it's more of a controlled way of saying, like, I'm not putting my phone when I'm working. I'm not putting my phone when I am studying. I'm going to put it in another room so that I can focus, and then when my timer is up, I am allowed to stand up, take a break, and then play with my phone if I wanted to. But if I don't want to, I can look around the garden, I can take a walk outside for a couple of minutes. The kind of person who controls through deflecting. So you're not completely restricting yourself, you're not fighting with yourself, but you are understanding the way your body moves, the way your values are placed, your habits, your mindset, the things that you need, and so on, and then finding ways to make the journey seamlessly, to make the journey much more smoother. So it's more of a figuring out yourself and finding the best way that is comfortable and as less painful as it could. And so with this, people think that you are a very efficient person. Anything else for pile number 2? What do people admire about them? Also, you're the kind of person who can keep things to themselves. So you're not someone who talks a lot, as in talking behind people back. I'm not saying that talking is bad, that talking a lot is bad. Obviously it's not. It's just you're the kind of person who are able to keep your mouth closed when needed. You can keep secrets and trustworthy. Anything else for pile number 2? What do people admire about them? Okay, you have the cups. This is so all wholesome. You guys are so precious. You have the 2 of cups, and then you have the 9 of cups. Is it 9 or 6? It's 9. Yes. 9 of cups. This is so wholesome, and both of them fall off at the same time. Honestly, this is so cute. So you're someone who is very loyal to the people that you love, to the people that you're committed to, and you are very happy people, satisfied people who are, I'm sorry, I'm sniffling. I hope you don't mind. But you're the kind of person who is very fulfilled, very content and satisfied and secure in yourself, which makes other people secure in themselves too. It helps other people to be comfortable, to be able to become their truest selves in your presence. There's this feeling of happiness, sincerity, and very wholesome energy. I see that you are very well loved in your environment, in your community, your families, group of friends, or your partners, because there's so much love here. You seem like you're someone who is very humble, sincere, trustworthy, and loving. You love people, and people love you back because you've been kind to them, to other people. You've been sincere, trustworthy, and people are mirroring the good feelings, the good vibes and positivity that you emit, and mirror that to you. So your feelings are reciprocated, and I suddenly just heard that you are like a partner material. Like you're someone that other people want to be partner with. I don't know why, but I keep misspelling or having difficulties in pronouncing. I hope you don't mind though. Okay, let's continue for pile number 2. What do people admire about you? Okay, I think this card want to be used, this deck, want to be used. So I'm going to use this deck first and see what do pile number 2 need. What do pile number 2? Okay, I just tried to ask the question, what do pile number 2 need? So there's something that you need or something that people want from you. Okay, let's see here. But what is it that people admire from pile number 2? What do people admire about pile number 2? So you're a provider, someone that people can depend on, rely on. There's this anchor and stability that came out from you. This vibe of stability, dependable, so that people want to be in your presence. They want something from you, not necessarily have to be material things. It could be just your energy, as in when you walk into the room, people can feel your soothing, your calming presence, and it helps them calm too just by being in the same room with you. But obviously, be careful with people who suck on energies. I'm not saying that a lot of people are bad. There are bad people in the world, but there are also so many good people in the world. But be mindful of people who are leeching off your energies. But that, again, there are lots of good people in this world. Okay, and then there's this for you. It's okay not to make any sense. You're not obligated to make them understand. So you are the kind of person who is walking to the beat of your own drum. There's this idiom that walking in or marching in the beat of your own drum. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that's basically, you don't care about what other people think about you. You make your own way, you create your own path. You're unafraid to take the step that is different from other people. So people admire that you are willing not only to put in the work, to control yourself, but also to find the path, the way that is true to yourself, even though it does not make sense to other people. And then there's this, it is time, stop making yourself small and claim your place. So you're the kind of person who does not break yourself into pieces just so that people can easily digest you as and easily make sense of you. Because for you, it's okay not to make sense. I don't care if I don't make sense in the eyes of other people. It's fine if I don't make sense. It's fine if other people don't understand what I'm doing. Because I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this because I wanted to. And people admire you because you stay true to your values, to your dreams, and you are brave to chase them. You are brave to take the actions, even though not a lot of people understands, a lot of people can relate to you, but you keep on moving forward, you keep on taking the steps because I want this is my dream and I'm going to achieve it, whether you understand it or not, because this is something that is important to me. Anything else for pile number 2? What do people admire? Pile number 2. Okay, I just heard that you don't need a lot of external validations. There is this internal thing. There's this satisfaction, happiness that you generate your own. That brings you to this sense of security that even if people don't understand me, I have my own back. Again, it's not that you are alone here. You do have your support system. But even if, for example, other people do not understand you, you are secure. You have the security that you have your own back. So you're the kind of person who does not antagonize yourself. I am not my own rival. I am my own team. I support my own self. I encourage them. I say good things to myself. So I don't put myself down. But I support them. I help myself up, then give them compliments when... Okay, I just heard... Sorry, I got distracted. There's something, but suddenly I forgot. It was so quick. Some kind of a praise. Someone was praising you, complimenting you, something, but it was really fast, really quick. As in, people are saying it while they are walking past you. I don't know, that was random, but perhaps it was something that happened to you. Okay, what else for pile number 2? What people admire from them. Okay, you've got the Tower. So people admire you that you are someone who can rise up from the ashes. Also, you're someone who's very romantic. I forgot to mention that. You're someone who can rise from the ashes. You're good at building things. Again, you're unafraid to start from the beginning, unafraid of change, unafraid of being beaten down and then you have to get up again and start from the beginning. You're not the kind of person who is afraid from that. You're very transformative. There's this Plutonic energy in you that is having your own back, like whatever comes to my way, I'm secure in myself and I know I have my own back. And I also have my support system that will help me. The right person, the right people will come to me. So I don't have to be afraid. So I don't have to pretend to be other people. So I can stay true to myself so that people can love me as I am. So the right people can come to me because I'm staying true to myself. Okay. You're someone who's very romantic. Previously, I didn't give much importance on the Two of Cups because I just thought that this was a mirroring energy that you give up to other people and then people give out the energy that you emitted. Like if you're happy, people mirror your happiness, and if you're focused or resilient, people are also reflecting back. So if you're hardworking, people can help but want to be hardworking also. So there's this mirroring kind of energy that makes people want to be in your frequency, in your vibe. You're influential, you know that. There's this Plutonic energy, regeneration, transformative. People admire you because you are someone who is rising from the ashes, someone who has went through a lot, and do not let those past hurting, past experience let them down, as in make them stay in the ground. No, you raise up and rebirth even stronger than you have ever been before. You're good at turning your obstacles, the adversity that you are experiencing, into something that advantageous to your side. This is such a powerful energy. I have the sense of admiration. Forgive me with my pronunciation. Admirations towards you guys. It was lovely though. Despite the hardship that you went through, you still stay happy, staying soft and wholesome and very caring and humble. You know, those kind of things are not easy, and you've went through a lot. To be honest, I'm so proud of you. But most importantly, you must have been proud of yourself because you went through a lot of things. And I hope you realize. And I do think that you do realize that. Your confidence, because you know that I survived this far. And I know that I can survive anything. This confidence and security in whatever comes to you, you can overcome it. And you will learn lessons from it and become much more stronger than you have ever been before. With each adversity, you are getting wiser, you are getting stronger, you are stepping into your power. So rather than thinking this adversity and challenges were something that is holding me back, you are thinking that this is an opportunity for me to strip down the negative or any self-limiting beliefs, and then for me to step into my power. And people admire you for that because, wow, you're the kind of person who people call the undead, the kind of people who say the grass, wild grass, because you cannot be beaten down. When you are knocked down, you just came and rebirth even more stronger. This is so powerful. I can't help but feel admiration towards you. Okay, anything else for pile number 2? Okay. Oh, you're not the kind of person who is afraid to be different. For example, having a different style, having a different preferences. There is this Aquarian energy from you. People admire you because you stay true to yourself. You don't pretend to become other people so that you are socially accepted. You just do your own thing, and people admire you for that. Because not a lot of people are able to stay true to themselves. People are afraid to be judged. If they put out their true feelings, their true values, their opinions out there. Like for example, there are certain environments that are shaming if you are being emotional. So if you're being emotional, you are shamed and labeled as someone is weak. There are certain environments that have a tendency towards shaming sensitivity, shaming being emotional. And even if, for example, you are in that kind of environment, you are not the kind of person who is afraid to show your sensitivity. You show that you care about people. You do not hide your emotional side just because people will ridicule you or shame you for that. But again, I'm not saying that people are ridiculing you for being emotional. It's not, but there are certain specific or some certain or some cases of environment where there is a tendency to shame being emotional and being sensitive and label them as being weak and incompetent. But you here is actually depicting a strength that you're not following any people. You're not asking for external validations. You're not seeking the confirmation from other people that it's okay to be vulnerable. If you think it's okay, if you think it's aligning with your values, you will do whatever you want. You will be emotional, you will be caring, even though people are saying that it makes you look weak or something, but you don't care about that. What else for pile number 2? Okay, my ears are itchy, so perhaps to some of you, there are a lot of people who talk about you. You are the center of the attentions because what you're doing interests people. What you're doing interests bring the attention of people, whether people want it or not. You're interesting. There is this uniqueness to you that brings something new to the table. And people are silently or in your back are talking about your ideas, the way you bring yourself, the way you offer something new to the table. And it makes people expecting what next, what other surprises that we can see from you. What else that people admire for pile number 2? Because seemingly this card does not want to come up, I'm just going to take the other deck. And what else people admire about you? By the way, there is a marble here. It's really beautiful. It's not an expensive thing or something like that. It's just something that I bought in a shop. I love it. It's really sparkly, so I'm putting it here because it's cute. And I love sparkly things, and I hope you love that too. I know it's not doing the justice with the lights. But yeah, just in case you are thinking about those little circles over there, it's my marble. And also this is my cup here. The insides there is dried rosemary and dried lavender, and just put it in the cup. Okay, don't worry, you will get there at the perfect time. This is such a beautiful card because I believe that this is relating to this. Oh, the marbles just went away. But the Seven of Pentacles, because you're waiting for your harvest, you keep doing when working hard. But don't worry, you will get there at the perfect time. So you will eventually get there. Sooner or later. I know that is not something that you would want to listen or you want to hear. But you will get it. You will get there at the perfect time. I think I heard someone say this. I forgot who was it was saying that to me, but anything is possible. It's just a matter of when. And you will get there at the perfect time. So you don't have to worry a lot, and take your deep breath and trust the process. Anything else for pile number 2, please? Maybe 1 or 2 cards. What do people admire from them? And perhaps this is other than just an advice. You know yourself that you will get there at the perfect time, so you don't really care about what other people think about you, because you know that you will get there. I will get there. I'm sure of it, and I know it. I'm not late or I'm not too early. I'm in the perfect time. Can I get one more card, please? For pile number 2. To close off this reading. Okay, here. This is also such a beautiful card. May the boundaries you set brings the right people in your life. I think there was something that I said previously that is also resonated with this, that is connecting with this. To be honest, this is the card that I really get when I shuffle the cards, and this is so beautiful. May the boundaries you set brings the right people in your life. So by staying true to yourself, by being real and authentic to yourself, you're bringing in the right people to your life. And when I say staying true and taking the actions that are aligning with your values, it also means that you have to set some boundaries that you do not want people to step into, which means that you will not be everyone's cup of tea. That one is for sure. But you have to know that the right people will come to you. Okay? So this is your card. If you want, you can screenshot it. Or yeah. And this is your last card, and I hope you enjoy my reading. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.